So a while ago, I did a video, I called it something like $10 radiator patch, and I originally patched the passenger side here with JB Weld. That held for a while, and then I think the support for my radiator is really not holding up the radiator well, so I was trying to basically improvise a support up here to hold it, but I think the vibrations was cracking the plastic, so I have my $10 patches here on the driver's side. But one thing that happened is that I had to try and repatch the passenger side. I used JB Weld, just putting it over the other stuff. I think I probably just should have sanded it off, sanded it down to the plastic, and then reapply the patch there. So it broke on me, but I was near a gas station. They had some crazy glue or super glue or whatnot, and then they had these little rubber hose patches, and actually there's a big one here. So, and this patch came with rubber cement, but I felt like, well, that's probably not strong enough. So I was able to drive over 200, probably close to 250 miles with this patch on. Basically what I did was, while the engine was hot, I put a bunch of the crazy glue over the JB Weld, and then just stuck this rubber patch onto it. And it's definitely temporary. You can see that it's coming up around the edges. So, I mean, it's definitely not like a long-term fix, but if you're ever on the road, you have a plastic radiator and it cracks, that might be enough to get you home. I was watching the temperature gauge. I also had the heat blasting to try and take some heat off the engine, and then that way too I could kind of smell and see if there was the smell of coolant coming in, if it was leaking out and steaming up. And I was also watching to see if I could see steam coming out from under the hood. So definitely not ideal. I may have to replace this radiator eventually, but, well, probably sooner rather than later, but it at least buys me a little bit of time. And if you have a car that's, 15, 16 years old, sometimes it makes sense just to keep it going along for a little bit, decide how long you're going to keep it, or decide, how long it's still useful. But you can definitely see coolant splatter from where it had been leaking out before. Hope that helps.